Okay. I'm back. Power's back. We're gonna do a little round of music here. Okay, I'm back. I'm just finishing up the last place that I need to put this. Okay, I got that one. I got that one. Oh, this one. Okay. Okay. Also, apparently I was supposed to be somewhere for somebody. Well, not somewhere. I was supposed to be online somewhere for somebody's birthday tonight. How am I 2 hours late? When did that call go out? Okay, no, it went out like 40 minutes ago. Okay, I feel a little bad, but less bad than being 2 hours late. So we're going to finish up chapter 3. There we go. Error. I need to. What? Huh? Am I not even streaming? Oh my goodness. Need to change the video resolution. Am I at least streaming? Yes, I am. Okay. Open widget. What's wrong with my resolution? Stream status is poor. The expected video resolution is 2560 by 1440, 2560 by 1440. How do I do that? Do I do this here? Should do that in OBS, right? Why is it taking me to Studio? Oh, we gotta turn those off too. I gotta do a whole... No, it does not feature AI content. Okay. No, don't cancel, you dummy. Maybe I should turn the music back on. Okay, we good? I think we're good. I don't know how to change the resolution. You'd think I would do that here. Appearance? General? Look, if I can't figure out how to change the resolution here in like a second. Video? I'm not allowed to change this. Video output is currently off. Please turn off any outputs. Okay. Wait, no, not good. Okay, we need to turn off the image for just a second so that it will let me do the thing that it wants me to do. I don't know why this suddenly changed. And it still won't. Video output is not currently active. We're turned off. There's no video. You know what? There's no video. We're not going to worry about this. Shoot, how do I? There we are. We're just going to finish chapter 3. There are apparently orcs or something in my electricity and now in my OBS. Where were we? Very dangerous, my little ones, perhaps, said Mary, now alert and aware of Pippin's guess. Perhaps, and not only for us. Still, you know your own business best. Do you want it or not? And what would you give for it? Do I want it? Do I want it? Said Grishnach, as if puzzled, but his arms were trembling. What would I give for it? What do you mean? We mean, said Pippin, choosing his words carefully, that it's no good groping in the dark. We could save you time and trouble. But you must untie our legs first, or we'll do nothing and say nothing. I love Pippin. He's adorable. My dear tender little fools, hissed Grishnach. Everything you have and everything you know will be got out of you in due time. Everything. You'll wish there was more that you could tell to satisfy the questioner. Indeed you will, quite soon. We shan't hurry the inquiry. Oh dear no, what do you think that you've been kept alive for? My dear little fellows, please believe me when I say that it was not out of kindness. That's not even one of Ugluk's faults. What an interesting sentence. I really hate this yellow error bar here. We're going to cover it up with chat. Oh no, it won't let me. It will. I'll regret that later, but that's fine. I find it quite easy to believe, said Mary. But you haven't got your prey home yet, and it doesn't seem to be going your way, whatever happens. If we come to Isengard, it won't be the great Grishnach that benefits. Saruman will take all that he can find. And if you want anything for yourself, now's the time to do a deal. Grishnach began to lose his temper. The name of Saruman seemed specially to enrage him. Time was passing, and the disturbance was dying down. Ugluk or the Isengarders might return at any minute. Have you got it? Either of you? He snarled. Gollum, Gollum, said Pippin. Untie your legs, said Mary. All the pressure! They felt the orc's arms trembling violently. Curse you, you filthy little vermin, he hissed. Untie your legs. I'll untie every string in your bodies. Do you think I can't search you to the bones? Search you. I'll cut you both to quivering shreds. I don't need the help of your legs to get you away, and have you all to myself. Suddenly he seized them. The strength of his long arms and shoulders was terrifying. He tucked them one under each armpit and crushed them fiercely to his sides. A great stifling hand was clapped over each of their mouths. Then he sprang forward, stooping low. Quickly and silently he went, until he came to the edge of the knoll. There, closing a gap between the watchers, he passed, like an evil shadow, out into the night, down the slope and away westward, towards the river that flowed out of the forest. In that direction, there was a wide open space with only one fire. After going 12 yards, he halted, peering and listening. Nothing could be seen or heard. He crept slowly on, bent almost double. Then he squatted and listened again. Then he stood up, as if to risk a sudden dash. At that very moment, the dark form of a rider loomed up right in front of him. A horse snorted and reared. A man called out. Grishnak flung himself to the ground flat, dragging the hobbits under him. Then he drew his sword. No doubt he meant to kill his captives rather than allow them to escape or to be rescued, but it was his undoing. The sword rung faintly and glinted a little in the light of the fire away to his left. An arrow came whistling out of the gloom. It was aimed with skill or guided by fate, and it pierced his right hand. He dropped the sword and shrieked. There was a quick beat of hooves, and even as Grishnak leapt up and ran, he was ridden down, and a spear passed through him. He gave a hideous, shivering cry and lay still. The hobbits remained flat on the ground, as Grishnak had left them. Another horseman came riding swiftly to his comrade's aid. Whether because of some special keenness of sight or because of some other sense, the horse lifted and sprang lightly over them, but its rider did not see them, lying covered in their elven cloaks, too crushed for the moment and too afraid to move. Okay, I'm just gonna check on my stream health again, because now I'm paranoid. This is not even the first time that my power has just kind of died for a bit. Hey. Yep. It's a little annoying. While live stream ended, content, live. Okay, good. We are live. Okay. Boo. At last Mary stirred and whispered softly. So far so good, but how are we to avoid being spitted? The answer came almost immediately. The cries of Grishnak had aroused the orcs. From the yells and screeches that came from the knoll, the hobbits guessed their disappearance had been discovered. Ugluk was probably knocking off a few more heads. Then suddenly the answering cries of orc voices came from the right, outside the circle of watchfires, from the direction of the forest and the mountains. Mahur had apparently arrived and was attacking the besiegers. There was the sound of galloping horses. The riders were drawing in their ring close around the knoll, risking the orc arrows so as to prevent any sortie, while the company rode off to deal with the newcomers. Suddenly, Merry and Pippin realized that, without moving, they were now outside the circle. There was nothing between them and escape. Now, said Merry, if only we had our legs and hands free, we might get away. But I can't touch the knots, and I can't bite them. No need to try, said Pippin. I was going to tell you. I've managed to free my hands. These loops are only left for show. You'd better have a bit of lembas first. He slipped the cords off his wrist and fished out a packet. The cakes were broken, but good, still in their leaf wrappings. The hobbits each ate 2 or 3 pieces. The taste brought back to them the memory of fair faces and laughter, and wholesome food and quiet days now far away. For a while they ate thoughtfully, sitting in the dark, heedless of the cries and sounds of battle nearby. Pippin was the first to come back to the present. We must be off, he said. Half a moment. Grishnak's sword was laying close at hand, but it was too heavy and clumsy for him to use. So he crawled forward, and finding the body of the goblin, he drew from its sheath a long, sharp knife. With this, he quickly cut their bonds. They were just sitting there snacking, still tied up. Pippin! Hobbits! Now for it, he said. When we've warmed up a bit, perhaps we shall be able to stand again and walk. But in any case, we had better start off crawling. They crawled. The turf was deep and yielding, and that helped them. But it seemed a long, slow business. They gave a watchfire a wide berth and wormed their way forward bit by bit until they came to the edge of the river, gurgling away in the black shadows under its deep banks. Then they looked back. The sounds had died away. Evidently, Mahur and his lads had been killed or driven off. The riders had returned to their silent, ominous vigil. It would not last very much longer. Already the night was old. In the east, which had remained unclouded, the sky was beginning to grow pale. "We must get under cover," said Pippin, "or we shall be seen. It will not be any comfort to us if these riders discover that we are not orcs after we are dead." He got up and stamped his feet. "Those cords have cut me like wires, but my feet are getting warm again. I could stagger on now. What about you, Mary?" Mary got up. "Yes," he said. "I can manage it. Lembas does put heart into you. A more wholesome sort of feeling, too, than the heat of that orc draft. Ah! I wonder what it was made of. Better not to know, I expect. Let's get a drink of water to wash away the thought of it." "Not here. The banks are too steep," said Pippin. "Forward now." They turned and walked side by side, slowly along the line of the river. This is the slowest escape of all time. They turned. Oh yeah, we were already there. Behind them, the light grew in the east. As they walked, they compared notes, talking lightly in hobbit fashion of the things that had happened since their capture. No listener would have guessed from their words that they had suffered cruelly and had been in dire peril, going without hope towards torment and death, or that even now, as they knew well, they had little chance of ever finding friend or safety again. "You seem to have been doing well, Master Took," said Mary. "You will get almost a chapter in old Bilbo's book, if I ever get a chance to report to him. Good work, especially guessing that hairy villain's little game, and playing up to him. But I wonder if anyone will ever pick up your trail and find that brooch. I should hate to lose mine, but I'm afraid yours is gone for good. I shall have to brush up my toes if I am to get level with you. Indeed, Cousin Brandybuck is going in front now. This is where he comes in. I don't suppose you have much notion where we are, but I spent my time in Rivendell rather better. We're walking west along the Entwash. The butt end of the Misty Mountains is in front, and Fangorn Forest." Even as he spoke, the dark edge of the forest loomed up right before them. Night seemed to have taken refuge under its great trees, creeping away from the coming dawn. "Lead on, Mr. Brandybuck," said Pippin. "Or lead back. We've been warned against Fangorn, but one so knowing will not have forgotten that." I don't know what that means. "I've not," answered Mary, "but the forest seems better to me, all the same, than turning back into the middle of a battle." He led the way in under the huge branches of the trees. Old beyond guessing they seemed. Great trailing beards of lichen hung from them, blowing and swaying in the breeze. Out of the shadows, the hobbits peeped, gazing back down the slope, little furtive figures that in the dim light looked like elf children in the deeps of time, peering out of the wild woods in wonder at their first dawn. Far over the great river and the brown lands, leagues upon gray leagues away, the dawn came, red as flame. Loud rang the hunting horns to greet it. The riders of Rohan sprang suddenly to life. Horn answered horn again. Merry and Pippin heard, clear in the air, the neighing of war horses, and the sudden singing of many men. The sun's limb was lifted, an arc of fire, above the margin of the world. Then, with a great cry, the riders charged from the east. The red light gleamed on mail and spear. The orcs yelled and shot all the arrows that remained to them. The hobbits saw several horsemen fall, but their line held up on the hill over it, and wheeled round and charged again. Most of the riders that were left alive then broke and fled, this way and that, pursued one by one to the death. Most of the raiders that were left alive broke and fled, this way and that, pursued one by one to the death. But one band, holding together in a black wedge, drove forward resolutely in the direction of the forest. Straight up the slope they charged towards the watchers. Now they were drawing near, and it seemed certain that they would escape. They had already hewn down 3 riders that barred their way. "We've watched too long," said Mary. "There's a Gluck. I don't want to meet him again." The hobbits turned and fled deep into the shadows of the wood. So it was that they did not see the last stand, when Ugluk was overtaken and brought to bay by the very edge of Fangorn. There he was slain at last by Eomer, the 3rd Marshal of Rohan, who dismounted and fought him sword to sword. And over the wide fields the keen-eyed riders hunted down the few orcs that had escaped and still had strength to fly. Then, when they had laid their fallen comrades in a mound and had sung their praises, the riders this time, made a great fire and scattered the ashes of their enemies. So ended the raid, and no news of it ever came back, either to Mordor or to Isengard. But the smoke of the burning rose high to heaven and was seen by many watchful eyes. Okay. And that is the end of chapter 3, which unfortunately as far as I'm going to get tonight, because I have apparently somewhere that I need to be. If anybody has followed on to this second half, have a good night. Keep up the faith. You never know when a bunch of people on horseback are going to show up and absolutely just destroy and then burn the bodies of the orcs that have captured us all. So, see you next week. Have a good night.